Well, hey, friends. David Nuno here, TexAgs Rewind. I know somebody doesn't like those fake hellos by me. It is what it is. TexAgs Rewind is presented by Yeti, our good friends at Yeti. And on the show today, I was back after being gone for a little bit. We did our big shots of the week, and we kind of had to go a little national on you because we had national things to get into. We did an LSU preview, and Nick and Luke, I don't want to say I got annoyed during the LSU preview, but I got a little annoyed at and I like Scott Rabalais. I think he's great, but how did he
kind of
phrase
just discounted A&M's effort against LSU last year.
He's like, I know it was a good game, but LSU didn't play their best game. Yeah, they didn't play their best game because A&M took them out of playing their best game. That's how I want to see it, and that's how I'm going to remember it, and that's the facts of it. Luke, we did a little this or that, and I don't think you were a fan of that segment.
No, I like the segment. I just think, with a little practice and improvement, similar to how you coach me up over here at the Social Center, we can get it to
So how would we
really
fix
improve.
it?
Maybe let me talk more.
I actually agree with that, Luke. I would say let you answer some of the questions would be maybe an improvement.
I know. I'll do that next time. David told me I could. I just didn't want to interrupt y'all. Y'all
But
two
you
have
said
a great back and forth.
You said let me talk more. I did mention you could interject.
I know. I'll get it next
I got
time.
an idea. How about I don't ever let any of you talk on the show again? That was
I
a
like
good
that
grammar.
even better.
What a disastrous show. Tom Hart. I was like, what are we going to talk about with Tom Hart? He's not covering anything. He's tired. And we had plenty to talk about because he's our guy. We can talk to Tom about anything. What he does during rain delays, Ted Lasso. What else did we talk about with him? There's something else good on there. We talked about 2022 teams that didn't live up to their promise and what they're going to live up to in 2023. Of course, A&M being on there. It is the TexAgs Rewind. Check it out right now. NBA-wise, you got to give the Denver Nuggets their props, right?
Right.
And the Joker. 30 points per game in this series, 14 rebounds, 7.2 assists, and was it 1.5 blocks per game? He averaged closeout game, 28 and 16. How about that? 12 of 16 shooting.
Yeah, Kendrick Perkins looks dumber every game that Jokic plays.
Yeah, now I saw this commentary, and I'm not going to go there right now because I'm such a Dirk stan, but people are saying, has he passed Dirk Nowitzki as the greatest European NBA player? No, not yet. I still think Dirk's got that mantle, but Joker's certainly on his way. I don't know. I guess you could make an argument for it, but Dirk had the longevity.
And a much better shooter.
Yeah.
So, depends on what you want.
But it's a different league, right?
It is.
Everybody seems to be shooting.
And I think Doncic, when it's all said and done, will probably be recognized as the best.
You think Luka will?
Yeah.
I don't know. People are really down on Luka this past year. People are mad at the way the season ended, and because I know you're a big Mavs guy, and also his lack of defense, correct?
Look, defense doesn't matter when you can score 160 points a game. I think the Mavs will be better next year, but it definitely was disappointing to watch how the season ended.
Again, we talked about this with the Mavericks. As soon as they they were pretty competitive.
They were the 4 or 5 seed, I believe, when they made the trade.
And then they made the trade to Kyrie Irving, which is a really good player, but something about him when he goes to a team, they get work, kind of like Harden.
But I will say that I watched a lot of Maverick games when he came over. We got the package, and yes, he's obviously a problem wherever he goes, but he didn't seem like a problem. It just didn't fit.
Just
like
didn't
the puzzle.
Fit. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden, I think just continued the progression last year. Of, early last season, he was taking off and running before he'd go through all of his progressions, and as the year went on, he got better at that. Not being so, averse to the pass rush. Take off. You have to, and there'll be some design runs, for him, but. He's makes good decisions in terms of not just trying to throw the ball in there because he doesn't have a rocket launcher arm like Garrett Nussmeier, the backup quarterback does, but he's better at being a little more judicious with his decisions and not trying to throw the ball into a mail slot. But he just needs to continue to grow in his knowledge of the offense and maturing. And I think they're expecting the world of Jaden Daniels this year. I mean, I think, people look at him and say, who is the leading Heisman candidate out of the SEC? And you see his name mentioned a lot, maybe that's a lot to say. Maybe that's not. But it's his job, and they've done a good job politically of within the team of getting Nussmeier to stay and await his turn to be the starter next year, and with the knowledge that he could play if Jaden got hurt this year, and maybe he'll get a spot here or there, but. He just familiarity with the offense, familiarity with these players. Yes, as you said, they have a very good receiving core with guys like Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas and Aaron Anderson, who transferred from Alabama, Louisiana native. So the expectations are pretty great for Jaden. But I think when we go to media days next month in Nashville, you good chance you're going to see him, that preseason All-SEC team or if not on the first team, maybe the second.
Beach vacation or skiing in the mountains?
I've never been skiing in the mountains. I'm sure it'd be great. I'm a beach vacation kind of guy. I want to go to the beach and do absolutely nothing, just relax and chill. And, I don't drink margaritas or Mai Tais or whatever people drink, but I like to sit in the sun, get in the water a little bit and chill. I'm going beach vacation, Nick.
Yeah, I agree with that one completely. I went skiing earlier last year, or I guess late last year. I was not very good. Fell plenty. Beach, like you said, just sit and I do drink margaritas and beer and stuff like that. So that's what I'd be doing. So beach all day.
All right, Luke.
I like those answers. I had to put the glasses back on for this next question. Lose in the lights or get blown out?
Nick, you go ahead.
So losing the lights as in dropping a fly ball, that you lose in the lights. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
With 2 outs, yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably get blown out. I'd rather not do that. That would be unfortunate. Has something like that happened recently?
Yeah, some school. I think in Texas, actually, I lost in the lights. By the way, I don't like reveling in people's misery. I mean, if it happens to anybody, I want it to happen to them, but I don't think it's cool. That's a miserable way for your season to end. And I feel terrible for the young man who lost it in the lights. I'm going to rather get blown out. Though, as a fan, right? I'm talking about as a fan in this position. I want to be able to, you're down 9-0 in the third inning, easy just to walk away. All right, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go do something else. Then to be in it and have a chance, all we got to do is get this fly out and it's over. I'm choosing to get blown out. What's next?
I'm going to agree with both of y'all. A&M football to go 10-2, but losses to Ole Miss and Mississippi State, or 10-2 with losses to Bama and LSU.
I can't lose to Mississippi anymore. I can't lose to Lane. I say I because I feel like I'm part of the whole team. This is a loser question. I hate this question. Whoever wrote this question is a loser. I wrote the question, by the way. There's not a right answer, right? They both suck. So I guess I can stomach losses to Bama and LSU better than I can losing to those schools. So I guess I'm going to say, if I had to pick, but I hate this question again, and the loser who wrote it, I'm going to have to say losses to Ole Miss and Mississippi State would be, it's not forgivable. So I'd take the losses to Bama and LSU. I'd rather not lose to anybody. Say what you do, but what do you do during a rain delay?
Well, it depends on who you're with. All right, if you're with Ben McDonald, you do anything and everything because he wants to be entertained. I mean, think about it. That guy played a long time. He's sat through every type of rain delay you could ever imagine, including the one we had in Baton Rouge where not a single drop of rain fell. Those are the most rare rain delays that actually don't involve rain. It was a 7-hour delay, and we end up walking from the ballpark over to the walk-ons, which is, half a mile maybe. And this guy stopped, and not just LSU fans, but college baseball fans stopped and signed 15 balls and took 100 pictures just in that walk, a half a mile from the ballpark down to the bar. So I prefer just to hang out, talk to people. I always end up eating way more than I should because you're like, well, this game could go all night. We don't know if we'll get a chance to eat again. So now, next thing you know, you have 3 cheeseburgers, which is ridiculous.
Well, I think we have video evidence of what happened the other day in the booth. Nick, do we have that queued up?
We're hit.
All right, for those listening on radio, Tom throws a ball at Ben's, I guess he's wearing a catcher's mask, and it pops and hits the crowd. Did it actually hit somebody?
Okay, well, to be fair and precise, that was from a few years ago in Omaha, and we had this, but we ran it back. We're trying to mislead anybody, but we have this entire set that has all this equipment, helmets and bats and catcher's masks and gloves. So Ben was telling me about, we're talking about the catcher style mask, and he's like, well, they say that these deflect the ball better than the regular mask. And I said, well, we should try. And he goes, I'll put it on, throw a baseball at my face. And so I put a helmet on backwards. He sat down and I threw the ball right at his face. And
all right, Luke, you want to talk more? Tell the people what to do.
Okay, here's what you're going to do. Get a pen and a paper. You're going to want to write this down. Like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it, and go follow TexAgs on social media and go get TexAgs Premium.
You're Johnny Pointer. You realize that? You're like,
I got one more for them. If they've watched this long, comment below Nuno's call sign. He needs a call sign. TexAgers, please give Nuno his call sign.
There's nobody listening right now.
If we get 2 comments on, and they can't be related to me, I won't tell anybody. If we get 2 comments of call signs for you, I get to host the Rewind tomorrow. Do the intro outro, and you have to come sit here and talk to me in the host chair.
I hope that nobody's listening.
That'll be awesome.
Bye, guys.